Title: My wife worked the graveyard shift. So I planted an Airtag. What I found shattered me after 12 years and 2 kids. I didn't think it would end like this. Not after 12 years. Not after raising 2 beautiful kids together. Not after all the late nights, sacrifices, inside jokes, long drives, and slow dances in the kitchen at midnight. I used to think love was enough: loyalty, support, being present. But love isn't bulletproof. And betrayal? It doesn't knock before it shatters everything. I didn't plant the Airtag because I wanted to catch her doing something. I planted it because deep down, I knew she already had. Let me take you back to the beginning, to when the woman I would have taken a bullet for decided she'd rather give her heart, her time, and her body to someone else. And the worst part? She told me it was because he'd listened better. This isn't just my story. It's the story of every person who gave everything, and still wasn't enough. I'm 33. My wife is 36. We've been together for 12 years. We have 2 kids, one is hers from a previous relationship, but I raised her as mine from day one, and the other is our son. Together. Over the summer, things started to shift. Nothing too alarming at first, just cracks. She had just gotten promoted at her job and was suddenly dealing with a mountain of responsibilities. Late nights. Graveyard shifts. Constant messages from her boss. She was tired, short-tempered, moody. I chalked it up to stress. I didn't blame her. We all go through seasons, right? Life storms. You don't throw away the umbrella because of the wind. You hold it tighter. That's what I thought I was doing, holding on. Being there. Listening to her vent. Making coffee when she walked in at 6 a.m. Rubbing her back when she collapsed into bed. I even took on extra responsibilities at home so she could sleep more, but slowly, she became distant. I couldn't place it at first. She just didn't laugh as easily. Didn't smile as much when I came home. Our conversations got shorter. Her phone got closer to her body. Face down. Locked. Never ringing out loud. Then came the fights. Small things that exploded into massive blow-ups. Over a dish not washed. Over a schedule change. She'd snap at me, then go silent, then act like nothing happened. I started walking on eggshells. She was becoming someone I didn't recognize. But I didn't suspect anything, not yet. I just thought, maybe I wasn't doing enough. So I did more. By October, the changes were impossible to ignore. She started dressing up more for work. Not just the usual, put-together, kind of style. But more makeup, tighter clothes, even perfume. It wasn't subtle. And the weird part? She never did that for our date nights anymore, if we even had those. I asked her once, why the extra effort lately? She just shrugged, said something about looking professional for the new position. It made sense on the surface. But the look in her eyes when she said it? It wasn't convincing. Then came the silence. My wife used to be a waterfall of words. Every little thing about her day, every annoying coworker, every laugh, every detail. But now? I'd get vague one-word answers. No names. No stories. Nothing about work. Nothing about her anymore. It was like I was married to a ghost, and still? I didn't accuse. I didn't lash out. I gave her space. Maybe too much space. One evening, we had just come back from visiting a potential school for her daughter. We were supposed to spend the night together, something we desperately needed. I even picked up her favorite dinner on the way home. But she suddenly said she had to leave for work. No warning. No heads up. I was shocked. You didn't tell me you were working tonight, I said. She got defensive. Said her schedule had changed last minute. When I asked why she didn't mention it earlier, she exploded. It turned into a full-blown argument. And then something hit me. A feeling I couldn't shake. I looked at her and asked, is there someone else? She froze. Then laughed. Called me paranoid. Crazy. Said I was making things up. You really think I'd cheat on you? That's ridiculous, she snapped. I wanted to believe her. But her eyes? They didn't fight for us. They just dismissed me. Like I wasn't even worth the truth. That night, I didn't sleep. The next day, I bought an Airtag. I didn't want to do it. God knows, I hoped it would prove me wrong. But my gut told me otherwise. So I taped it under her back bumper, where she'd never see it, and I waited. The next week, everything unraveled. She started going out with some new girlfriends, girls I didn't know, girls I had asked her not to hang out with because they were reckless, party types. She brushed off my concerns. Told me to stop controlling her. I need my own time, she said. Another fight. Another slammed door. And that night? She said she was heading to work again. I opened my phone and watched her location update. She wasn't going to work. She drove to a random apartment complex on the other side of town, and she stayed there all night. That was the moment something inside me died. The next morning, I confronted her. I showed her the map. I asked again. This time, she didn't deny it. She didn't cry. She didn't beg. She didn't even flinch. She just stared at me and said, I needed attention. I blinked. We have 12 years together. 2 kids. I've been here. I listened to you. I support you. And then she said it, the thing that broke me, he listens to me without judging me. That's all it took? That's what tipped the scales? Not the loyalty? Not the years? Not the family. We built, just a few months of texts and compliments from a guy who didn't know her favorite color or how she looks when she cries. I felt like I had been hit by a train. We tried therapy. I tried pouring my heart out. We had conversation after conversation. I was desperate to fix it. For our kids. For everything we built, but she wasn't really trying. She was still in contact. With him. Still texting. Still friends. Every time I brought it up, she said I was being insecure. That's when I realized she didn't regret cheating. She regretted getting caught, and I was done fighting for someone who wasn't fighting. For me. I moved out. Took time to heal. To process. To cry. This experience taught me that love isn't enough when it's one-sided. That loyalty without reciprocation is just self-sacrifice. That someone can look you in the eye every day, sleep next to you every night, raise kids with you, and still lie through their teeth. I don't know if I'll ever fully trust again. The trauma is deep. There are days I still wake up reaching for her in the bed, then remembering she's not there anymore, not the version of her I loved, but I'm still here. And I'm stronger now. If you're listening to this, and you've been betrayed, let me tell you this, you are not crazy for loving too hard. You are not weak for trying to fix things. And you are not broken because someone else couldn't recognize your worth. I didn't plant the Airtag because I wanted revenge. I did it because I needed the truth. And once I had it, I couldn't unsee it. 12 years. 2 kids. A life built on what I thought was partnership. All undone by a few months of lies and a man who offered her validation in exchange for her loyalty. I still believe in love. I still believe in trust. But now, I believe in me more. If you've ever been in my shoes, or you're there right now, ask yourself, are you fighting for your relationship, or against your own dignity? What would you have done?